So just a quick note about playing this on the bass clarinet. This really tests the range of the bass clarinet, and if the instrument is not in good repair, you need to go get it repaired, because there's some things that you will never play consistently well, and it's always nice to know when it's you or when it's the equipment. So really make sure as soon as possible that you have an instrument that works well, and then treat it really nicely up through the audition. And after would be good too. But anyway, when you do the playfully section, it's going to be very easy to rush through the spaces created by the staccatos, and also the rhythm with the slurs. It tends to go very, very quickly. So sometimes instead of this, this is what's going to come out. It becomes kind of uneven. So you want to practice right away tonguing every single note and having the 8th note running on your metronome. I certainly don't think that you should start it out at full tempo. I think you should start it much slower so that you can really pay attention to what you're hearing and feel the pulse. This is dotted quarter equals 44, and I have my metronome subdividing to the 8th notes, so it's actually 132. Sorry, I missed the key, which is part of why we practice slowly. And then I would add the slurs at this tempo. I'm not doing too much with the accents yet. That will distort my sound a little bit, so I'm going to do that as things progress. We've talked about the notes in measure 7, the fingerings in measure 7. The rhythm in measure 9, the dotted 8th, is a little tricky, but if you just do some subdivision, it goes like this. But if you play 3/16 and 1/16 and 2/16, D, 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 C sharp, D, D, then you'll get the right exact rhythm every time. So do that for all of the dotted 8th to 16th note patterns, and then they'll be really steady in the beat and they'll never rush. You won't play the dotted 8th a little short. And if you just try to hold it longer, you'll probably hold it too long, and that's not good either. It needs to be just exactly right. The shortcut to doing things well is counting, not remembering how it goes. So after you've gotten the rhythm down and you're really sure of the rhythm, then I would add the slurs, then I would add the accents and start working on the dynamics. Something that really tests the bass clarinet in this piece are all the jumps. It's really hard to keep the sound beautiful during all the jumps and to have the sound and the tonguing be very clean. So I would practice maybe at 56 equals the dotted quarter, and I would practice very legato and make sure that I'm not moving my jaw. A good place to start practicing this idea would be measure 9. That mezzo piano at measure 11 is hard. You need to make sure you don't bite to get soft, or you'll crack the note every time. But I think you heard how smooth it was in measure 9. Let me do it one more time. Now, if I put a little bit more space in there, still the tonguing is very clean, and that sounds much more preferable to something that kind of cracks and is a little splatty. We want the notes to be shaped like a rectangle and not like an egg. So I think that's the biggest key to this, is to make sure that you learn the foundation of it, the rhythm and the notes first, then add the slurs and the accents, then add the dynamics, bearing in mind all the time that you want every note to be beautiful and clear, and not always practicing fast.